Headed into a new year, we want to know, well, what to expect when it comes to the economy. We're joined by our 9 News business expert, Ryan Frazier. Thank you for joining us here this afternoon.
Thanks for having me.
Good to see you. So I guess overall big picture, what would you say for 2026? If you could create a headline.
After attending this Business Outlook event, Alex, Sam, I tell you, I'll take what is a sputtering economy for $500. So,
Oh, that doesn't sound great.
Well, we'll see. Some of the top headlines, is basically modest growth. They're expecting about 2.9% growth in 2026 for real gross domestic product here in Colorado. With respect to jobs, they're expecting to add about 17,500 jobs next year, which is about 0.6%. So kind of anemic. As it relates to population growth, same, about 0.6%. So we're not seeing the same level of growth that we've seen in years past. Inflation is going to hang around the hoop. We're expecting 3.5% inflation in 2026 as compared to 3% this year and 2.3% in 2024. And for the good news is renters get somewhat of a break. They're expecting in 2026 that rents will drop about 7.2%. So if you're renting, negotiate a good lease. And then unemployment, we expect that to drop as well. That's a good thing, from 4.5% this year down to 4.1% next year. So some good and some bad, but overall slow, modest growth.
And why do the experts believe that in 2026 it's going to be slow, modest growth?
Sam, no surprise here. There's a lot of uncertainties about the impact of tariffs and how that's going to impact us in 2026. We had the largest one-year growth effective tariff rate from 3% to 21% this year alone. That's $600 million. Someone's going to pay that at some point. This question is who? Also, immigration, with the Trump administration's efforts to crack down on undocumented persons, how will that affect the labor force and, work and business in general? Interest rates are still high. We expect to see some cuts, maybe as soon as tomorrow, but they're still high, keeping people in their homes. They're not buying new cars as much. And of course, you guys talked about this earlier, just overall affordability, right? Colorado has not been as affordable a place for people to live. So we have a lot of folks who are dealing with those challenges.
When we look ahead, are there certain industries or certain places in the economy that you're expecting the growth, expecting the losses? Did you get any details there?
Yes, we are. So education and health services are going to be amongst the leaders in terms of job growth. Believe it or not, if you're in government, there's going to be some job growth amongst government workers, as well as also leisure and hospitality are where we're expecting to see the growth in the new year. Now, for the job losses, well, if you're in professional and business services, they're expecting about 1,400 job cuts next year. And if you're in information and technology, that sector is cooling due to AI automation, amongst other things. They're expecting to see about 200 jobs lost.
If you look at Colorado's economy, where does it rank or compare to other states here in our country?
Well, if you'd asked me this last year, I might have had a few better things to say, but let me give you a breakdown. From 2009 to 2024, when you looked at real gross domestic product, Colorado ranked 5th in the country. 2025, we've slipped back to 22nd. Now, when it comes to employment growth, again, Colorado ranked 7th in the country from 2009 to 2024. You look at 2025, we're in the 30s. Now, here's the good news. Personal income growth with respect to people, how much of income they're making. From 2009 to 2024, we ranked 4th in the country. We're still in the top 10. So that's something good. Now, this tidbit will be, depending on whether you're buying a home or selling a home, but home price growth. From 2009 to 2024, we were the 6th fastest in home price growth in the country. Today, we're 50th. So,
oh my goodness.
So if you're looking to buy a house, it might be a good time. If you're looking to sell, maybe not as good for you. So those are some of the data points. The long and short of it is, I think 2026, we should expect modest growth. I think there are going to be some good signs. We're going to see some good news, but I think we're going to also deal with some headwinds. And I think some of the biggest ones are going to be around how these tariffs ultimately affect our economy.
Well, nothing surprising, I don't think that you said, but definitely context as we head into the new year.
Yeah, it's important. And if you're a small business owner, like many of us are, you got a lot of questions because, you want to grow in the new year and you're hopeful that you got the economic conditions to do so.
Yep. I know. Well, Ryan Frazier, thank you for your expertise as always. Appreciate you.
Thanks for having me.